alien to the Christian faith, and not in the least fit to participate in eternal salvation, unless someday they recover from these errors. In 2001, however, the Pontifical Biblical Commission released a book entitled, quote, "The Jewish People and Their Sacred Scriptures in the Christian Bible." This book rejects the dogma that the Old Covenant has ceased. It teaches that the Old Covenant is still valid, and that the Jews wait for the coming of the Messiah, which was part of the Old Covenant, is also still valid. It teaches that Jesus does not have to be seen as the prophesied Messiah. It is possible to see him as the Jews do, as not the Messiah and not the Son of God. In section 2a5, the book states, quote, "Jewish messianic expectation is not in vain." In section 2a7, it states, quote, "To read the Bible as Judaism does necessarily involves an implicit acceptance of all its presuppositions, which exclude faith in Jesus as Messiah and Son of God. Christians can and ought to admit that the Jewish reading of the Bible is a possible one." So according to this Vatican book, Christians can and ought to admit that the Jewish position that Jesus is not the Son of God and the prophesied Messiah is a possible one. This is Antichrist. 1 John 2 verse 22, quote, "He who denieth that Jesus is the Christ, he is Antichrist." The preface for this totally heretical book was written by none other than Joseph Ratzinger, the now Benedict XVI. Heresy is a rejection of a dogma of the Catholic faith, while apostasy is a rejection of the entire Christian faith. This book contains both heresy and apostasy, fully endorsed by Benedict XVI. And Benedict XVI teaches the same